Air Force, in keeping with one of the oldest traditions in the military service, pays special tribute to Master Sergeant Preston Dews on the occasion of his retirement from active duty with the United States Air Force. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of the colors and singing of the national anthem and invocation.
Preston, arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Forward. Arms. Colors. Colors turn. Arch.
Please join me in prayer. Gracious God, we are thankful to gather in your presence for this retirement ceremony for Master Sergeant Preston Dews. For the past 20 years, Sergeant Dews has distinguished himself as an MRI and interventional radiology tech, and more recently as the MRI functional for the Air Force and senior enlisted leader of the 59th Specialty Squadron. As Master Sergeant Dews progressed in his Air Force career, his reputation grew too. He is known for exemplifying the Air Force core values of integrity, selflessness, and excellence, for having high standards, for possessing a wonderful sense of humor that might include a sarcastic comment followed by a playful smile and wink, and for loving the Air Force so much that he was nicknamed Mr. Air Force by his colleagues. Now that Master Sergeant Dews is working as an MRI tech as a contractor, he can spend time enjoying civilian life not only by jumping into his beloved pool, whether it be wearing a swimsuit or fully clothed, or he can relax in a hot tub and drive his new truck wherever he wants to go, or cheer on his beloved Dallas Cowboys to a Super Bowl championship next year. Whatever you do, Master Sergeant Dews, I pray that God continues to bless you and your beloved family as you enter this new and exciting chapter of your life. Thank you for your impactful Air Force career that has benefited so many, and may the years ahead bring you continued success, fulfillment, and happiness, such that you can knowingly say, I have always served my nation and military with the highest levels of honor and pride. Lord, I pray these things in your holy name. Amen. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Navarro, for that beautiful rendition of our national anthem. And Captain Davidson. And Chaplain Davidson for their lovely invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce our distinguished visitors. The presiding official for today's ceremony, the commander, 59th Medical Specialty Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Rasmussen. The commander, 59th Medical Operations Group, Colonel Alicia Smith. The commander, 59th Radiology Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Lashika Sneed. Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant Michelle Ray. More importantly, we are honored to welcome Sergeant Duke's family. We will start with his uncle Lance and his wife Carla Lacey. His cousin Ronnie and his wife Carrie Pruitt. His cousin Nova Adamson. Elizabeth Ewald. We will also like to recognize Sergeant Dews' family that are unable to be with us today. His grandfather, U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Retired, Dewitt Dews. His father, Gary Dews. Grandfather, Shirley Lacey. Grandmother, Pauline Jones. Mother, Sherry Lacey. And childhood friends, Chris Below and Jacob Bergren. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, we thank everyone for their attendance and extend our warmest welcome to everyone here today. Colonel Rasmussen, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Simpson. I appreciate that. What a glorious day. What a wonderful day to end a week, but also a wonderful way to begin to start a new journey. And it's my honor to be with you here today, and of course, extend my additional welcome to everyone that's in attendance, both virtually or maybe watching from the other side of the veil, for those in whom are missing here today. It's with humble gratitude that I, as the commander of the 59th Medical Specialty Squadron and somebody who has grown to love and appreciate Preston Dews, stand before you today. It's a real honor to be able to stand in and to actually be a review of someone's career and their life and what impact they've made. We share a lot of tradition. We do every day with what we wear. We do every day with what we stand for. We do every day with what we see in the American flag and what we live for by the example of our families. In this uniform, it really becomes our family. 20 years is a long time, especially for somebody that I don't even think has been out of the military longer than he has been in the military.
Still
And it's amazing to look back and to see what mark you can leave in that amount of time. So forgive us when we have a lot of formality. It's a lot of joy with this. We are honored because it represents a journey that has not been the result of one specific person, but been the result of many people, a lifetime, really, of people. Now, I've had a lot of fun going back over the last 20 years of who is this Preston Dews? Now, it's been a lot of fun since 2003 to go back and to see, well, what's he done? Now, I can tell you when I started here, I met Master Sergeant Dews last March. when I came all the way from Germany, very sleep deprived, to come here to AETC's immersion of all new commanders. Now, it's something that they do not to indoctrinate you, but in some ways to help you get an idea of what this air education training command will be like. And in that moment, I had a chance to steal away with Master Sergeant Walsh, Master Sergeant Dews, and then my predecessor, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Hatcher. We went out to dinner one night, and before I went there, I wondered, what are they going to think of me? What are they going to see? Well, we know they're going to see somebody's bald, doesn't have any hair, and very sleep deprived. But when I sat down, I came away from that opportunity to just simply break bread with them and began to realize and be humbly appreciated with what I was about to be with. Who is the mentors, the leaders that are going to support me in this tremendous and sacred opportunity it is to be a commander? I've never taken that lightly because of the people around me deserve my very best. And that is what 20 years has culminated here. So what's interesting is if you look up on this PowerPoint here, you see two different squadron logos. Now, whether or not we should have been at the Medical Specialty Squadron on the right side or the left side, I won't fight with Colonel Sneed on that one. She's stronger than me. She's awesome. Never been more proud to have such excellent commanders. But I want to point out what you see there. Venimus per te. Now, I don't know how many of you in here are very versed in Latin, but that translates into our tongue as we see through you. So I want to be able to set that tone with what do we see through you. Now, you heard some from the chaplain earlier. We got a wink. We got a nod. We got a, you can. I mean, I'm retired. You got a left and right. Hey, boss says you can. And you also have that wonderful, I don't even know if I can do it. I don't even know physically how you do that. I mean, you can. But what do we see? What do we see over 20 years in such a servant as Master Sergeant Dews? Well, we got a couple of words in here. Student, journeyman, craftsman, NCOIC, superintendent, supervisor, flight chief, and senior enlisted leader. I came in at that portion. And what did I get? I got somebody who was ever a student, somebody willing to take a journey, somebody who's willing to employ a craft, somebody who is willing to lead or supervise or maintain wisdom and order. But I also got a friend, somebody who was willing to be the senior experience that our team needed. Now, I fully admit that that is not by my doing. I had an opportunity to meet the career field manager of this wonderful airman. 28 years, and you'll see and hear from him later, is a gift that I got. That here's a career field that develops this kind of individual. I have a senior enlisted leader standing in the back, humble, who also is a part of that. In some of those photos that we see, and you'll see some of those as you move along here, Senior Master Sergeant Mascalad is at a younger age. He looks exactly the same, but his rank was different. I think he's immortal. Maybe a vampire, I have no idea. But either way, what I got as a commander is somebody who had been groomed, trained, helped, assisted, and given an opportunity to shine. Now, if you look back at his career, it's easy to see in the world of radiology, there's a lot of different flavors of what they do. Some get really good at ultrasound. Some get really good at CT. But one of the things that I appreciated was seeing his background in MR. Now, that background is not something that is just a hapstance kind of thing. It is highly lucrative. It is highly dangerous, if not done appropriately. But it is also something that takes the tissues of the body and enables us to be able to see them all the way through. Tissue, bone, fluid, movement, transfer of things such as blood through the vital organs of the body. That takes a very seasoned person. And so when we look and say we see through you, what we are seeing today is someone who is willing to become the best of the best for what they do. Which is why they also stole you back so that you can be a contractor. You can. But I'm excited about that for them. Because it's also one of those rare gifts to where you can roll out of your military service and actually be able to do what you got really good at in the civilian sector too. And in some ways get paid a lot better. I try, from what I hear, is that case. So when you look at the world of MRI, I wanted to point out that this is obviously somebody, Isidore Rabbi, who was able to win the Nobel laureate in 1944 for this invention, for the ability to see things as they really are. There's some fun quotes by him. I wanted to share one that I thought was kind of fitting. He said, quote, "I think physicists are the Peter Pans of human race. They never grow up and they keep their curiosity." I think he was talking about Master Sergeant Hughes. But what I do know is that in the beauty of MRI, the way in which those electrons are configured to be able to see what they do is that they don't scatter around like a shotgun, but they're configured in a way to where they move up and down in only a 12 o'clock and a 6 o'clock position. Now that was something that had never been discovered before, and through that power and orientation, we are able to get our diseases diagnosed, able to see things that we would never be able to see. So in the tiers of airman development, it's much the same, up and down. And I'm very grateful that today someone decided to keep moving up. Now we're not talking about becoming Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force or anything that is perhaps big or large in that way. But what I am referring to is the airmen in which he mentored along the way. There were times in which we would walk over to another component of our team that is situated over in the training vaccination clinic. And over on that side of the base is where he began his roots, back in 2003. Back as a brand new trainee over on that side of the base. Now many of you are twitching in the room. I remember that, okay? I feel the same way every time I go back to Maxwell and OTS there, my birth, if you will, in my military career. But I in those situations, going over, thinking that we're going to go see somebody or go and have this connection point, which we thrive on in our family, he would take an opportunity. "Hey, trainee, come here." And he would grab him, and he would give him a point of mentoring. Now, I could kind of say that nicely. At least I hope that's what it was. But what I do know is that he never missed an opportunity to leave someone better than when he found him. That's somebody, just like MR, that moves up in. Thank you for that. And so our logo, as you see up there, Potentia per Sanitatem, means power through health. In my squadron, we enable, through the medical specialties we have stewardship over and the honor of being able to serve, believe in building somebody and empowering them through the health that they have. As a gift from the radiology squadron, matrixed over to me, and much to the gratitude that I have had from somebody such as Chief Master Sergeant Ray, who is always looking for opportunities for her team to develop and get better, I have been made better. I and my family in the medical specialty squadron are healthier because of the power he was willing to give. Now, we could joke around about his deployments. You see many of his photos up there. We got a humor here. He never lost his bearing in that way. But it is my assessment that as I look to somebody such as him, that I stand in honor and gratitude for a family that he grew up in, for the support that has gone before him, and for the family that he now surrounds. We are all better because of Master Sergeant Hughes. So my friend, I'm honored to know you, and congratulations on this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Rasmussen. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise rise as the presiding official, presents the Meritorious Service Medal to Sergeant Dews and performs the retirement ceremony. Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Master Sergeant Preston Dews for meritorious service 18 February 2020 to 28 February 2023. Master Sergeant Preston Dews distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States while assigned to the 59th Radiology Squadron, 59th Medical Operations Group, 59th Medical Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. During this period, Sergeant Dews was handpicked to fill the Medical Specialty Squadron's senior enlisted leader, where he led 185 airmen and executed a $20 million annual budget. He was vital to overcoming the training vaccination center operation hurdles during the transition to a new electronic healthcare system. Master Sergeant Dews' team identified gaps and optimized the center's operations, securing $1 million that funded manpower and equipment expansion for 2 sites. This boosted capabilities averted processing delays for the Air Force $1 billion basic training mission. Moreover, as the Magnetic Resonance Imaging Associate Career Field Manager, he tackled manning shortages across 12 hospitals, lobbied for additional retraining authorizations, which increased the manning held from 78% to 94%. Finally, Sergeant Dews' relentless contributions to the mission culminated in securing the 2021 and 2022 Air Education Training Command Clinic of the Year and the group's 2021 Clinical Support Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year Award. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Dews culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. We will now proceed with the retirement portion of the ceremony by reading the formal retirement order. Sergeant Dews, are you ready to do this?
Oh, I did talk about re-enlisting. I'm just kidding.
Attention to order. Department of the Air Force, Washington, District of Columbia, Special Order Number Alpha Charlie 004922. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force, Master Sergeant Preston Dews, after 20 years of faithful and honorable service to our great nation, you are relieved from active duty effective 28 February 2023, per Air Force Instruction 36-3203. Master Sergeant Dews also received multiple letters of appreciation for his honorable service to our country. From the President of the United States, Joe R. Biden, President of the United States, Donald Trump, President of the United States, Barack Obama, President of the United States, George W. Bush, Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, General Charles Q. Brown, Jr., 59th Medical Wing Commander, Brigadier General Janine Ryder, and Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Joanne Bass. All of the letters will be available for display at the end of the ceremony. Come forward and join Master Sergeant Dews and to tap on his official retirement pin. Yay!
Keep saying that.
Really? Take a picture.
Thank you, Lance and Ronnie. Sergeant Dews, please remain on the stage for a few presentations from the men and women of the 59th Medical Operations Group. Our first presentation is from the Radiology Career Field Manager, Chief Master Sergeant Greg Romanciati.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chief Master Sergeant Greg Romanciati. I am Diagnostic Imaging Career Field Manager for all the diagnostic imaging techs in the Air Force. So, when I was presented the opportunity to lead diagnostic imaging professionals, one of the specialties that we encompass our career field is MRI. So full disclosure, I've never done an MRI in my life, right? Yet I'm expected to lead, mentor, and guide that specialty. So no pressure, right? So what could go wrong? So my hesitation was quickly resolved as soon as I met Preston Dews. Preston Dews is absolutely amazing senior NCO, very knowledgeable. The quality of work that he produced was exceptional, right? So I have no doubt that our MRI specialty was taken care of because Preston Dews was my wingman, right? So I appreciate all the advice, I appreciate the guidance, I appreciate you continue to push that specialty forward. You did a tremendous job, you should be proud of your service. We know that we are very proud of you, right? So thank you, job well done. So on behalf of the entire diagnostic imaging career field and myself, I just want to present you with my personal coin, and we're very proud of you. Thank you.
Next, we have Technical Sergeant Francis in the WASP MRI Department representing the MRI career field.
You got that.
Oh, wow. Look at this basket.
That's a good gift, Preston.
Oh.
I just want to say on behalf of the MRI team, NSYC department, I do want to touch on one thing. Is that you said that you left the mark, right? So you came in, it's very undues, you're ready.
You can.
Right? We definitely have multiple conversations about how MRI is sort of ran, and I just want to say, for me personally, I really appreciate your knowledge. I really appreciate your mentorship, and on behalf of us, thank you for giving us those knowledge. All right, and also we'll definitely be working with you soon. Okay.
Thanks, Fred. Wrong for that, President.
Next is the 59th Medical Operations Group Senior Enlisted Leaders and First Sergeants.
Okay. Come on, guys. Come on, first sergeants. Come on, SELs, past and present. Let's go. All right, Preston. So I got the opportunity to meet Preston when I got here about a year ago. And I know that Colonel Rasmussen likes to think that I helped in hiring him and getting him into the position, but that is absolutely not the case. I think Colonel Hatcher, Colonel Smith, and the prior group SEL did a fantastic job looking through the landscape, and Senior Mouse Plat did a fantastic job looking through the landscape and seeing what senior NCOs we had out there that deserved an opportunity to step into a position that they wouldn't normally step into, in a squadron they wouldn't normally step into, and lead that team and lead it phenomenally. It's very difficult sometimes to lead your peers, right? And I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, from the moment that I got here a year ago, Preston did a phenomenal job at that. Every opportunity that you could to step up to take care of your airmen and your NCOs, senior NCOs and your officers, you did that, and civilians and contractors. You did a phenomenal job. And I don't think any of us could say anything different, but that we appreciated everything that you did for your team. We appreciated your friendship. We appreciated your mentorship, because it goes both ways, right? Up and down. You did a great job taking care of them and us, and we are going to miss you. We are happy that you're coming back as a contractor and that you're still going to be here, even though apparently he only gets 30-minute lunch breaks, so you can't come see anybody and say hi. But we look forward to seeing all the great things that you do. We are going to miss you. The Air Force is losing a phenomenal senior NCO, but we are gaining an amazing contractor, and we look forward to seeing what you do in the future. So on behalf of the senior enlisted leaders and our amazing first sergeants, this is just a little bit something to say thank you for all that you did for us.
Are we joining you?
Come on, fools.
Next is the 59th Radiology Squadron.
All right. So the team is grabbing, we've got a couple gigs coming. But we wanted to, one, find our way up here. So it's kind of been like Game of Thrones with two houses, two squadrons. So, it's good, it's good, it's good. But you obviously started off at 5'9" RSQ, and we wanted to make sure that you had your family recognize you. One of the things that we are excited about is that you're not necessarily leaving us. He started on the 17th as a contractor. He knows now that he only works 40 hours a week and half-an-hour lunches, so he should have time for his home family, not as much time with the work family. But again, we wanted to recognize you and make sure that you understood that we're supporting you. And I did give seed your retirement to Rasmussen because you obviously spanned your scope of leadership across two squadrons. So in that fight with these two houses, we appreciate you, and we have that commonality of your leadership.
There's more. Casey, I'll have you go first.
Okay, Preston, I had to write it on a card so that I didn't forget anything. So I met Preston 16 years ago when I was a baby airman at Old Wolford Hall. He was also pretty much a baby airman, a senior airman. I'm gonna tell you, he hasn't changed a single bit. He looks exactly the same. He's like Benjamin Button. But you know, eventually our careers paths crossed again here at the new Wolford Hall. It's like a full circle. And I really got to know Deuce on a personal level, more than he probably wanted to, because he is such a gracious person that he opened up his home to me and my family during Snowmageddon. My house didn't have any heat or water. I had a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old at the time, and Preston was like, well, you know, I'm sleeping in a warm house that has water, so you're more than welcome to come over. And I know to you it may not seem like a big deal. It was a very big deal. You know, he had to listen to my daughter play Baby Shark like 3,000 times in 4 days. You know, this bachelor living alone, you know, being inundated with me, my husband, and my 2 kids. So I appreciate you. And then his support, his quiet support continued. You know, my mom died unexpectedly in 2021, and I was in shock and devastated. And Preston can relate, and he reached out to me because he understood. And he told me, stay strong. And in some of the darkest days, he said, remember, awesome women come from an awesome mother. So I appreciate that. It meant more than you would or could ever know. But under all the military standards and hard-assery of Preston, he is a teddy bear at heart. I do want to tell you, I do pay my debts. A year ago, I bet you with a handshake for $50 that I didn't believe you were going to retire. I did not believe it. He's Mr. Air Force. I couldn't believe it. So I always pay my debts. So I wanted to tell you, I'm proud of you. You're here today. I'm proud of you, brother. I love you. And here's your $50.
All right, so Preston, him and I have been together for 20 years.
20 years.
Right, 2003. What do you call it? So I still don't know what to say. So during lunch, we were actually talking, what should I talk about? And I was talking about how our relationship, right? It's like we're like brothers. We fight constantly. That's why we went to NDSP. That's the real reason, right? No, I'm just kidding. But Wes was like, well, you can compare it to that movie, Twins, right? But I'm not going to be Donnie DeVito in this, in this relationship. I may be short, but I'm not going to be Danny DeVito. But Preston, man, thank you for a lot of things. Thank you for always reminding me what safety zone I'm in. Right? And if I didn't, and I always don't know, and he always tells me, go do your Reliance training. Yeah, that I wrote a long time ago. I was like, I'm only going to do that once a year. Right? Thank you for resurrecting that picture, by the way, from 20 years ago. Appreciate it for bringing that up. Thank you for always keeping me on my toes. The one thing I can always count on Preston is to vector check everything that we do, even if I don't ask for it. But he always does, but it forces you to actually be on your toes and actually, let's engage this conversation. Just today, I think we fought like 3 times, right? I don't think we're gonna make it to this ceremony today, but that's our relationship. After we fight, okay, what's the next thing, right? So I appreciate everything. I wish I was gonna say I'm gonna miss you, but I'm gonna see you Monday morning at 7 o'clock. All right, and do your dimmers up. I am gonna miss the Master Sergeant dues because he always reminds me I'm off the clock or I'm on the clock. I only have 30 minutes every time he visits. So I am gonna miss our long talks, our long hours when we're working on things. I will miss that part. But I'm not going to pay you in overtime to actually do that. So I'm going to miss you.
It's kind of weird.
Oh,
Almost there. Next, we have the 59 Medical Specialty Squadron.
Well, you guys have already heard from me as the rest of our team is coming up, but I do really like what Colonel Sneed said. This family is the result of grooming and excellent leadership in another. And so, not to belabor the point, but all of us up here are so honored to be able to share in this, not because it was a house divided, We all know the better of the two. But what it is really a house that complements one another. And everything in which he was able to solve and help was because of another team's willingness to do the same. And so I don't know very many people that can walk out with two different pennants from two different squadrons at the same time. But that is exactly what this gentleman deserves. And so from all of us in MDSP and this amazing team of senior leaders over here, we love you and we're honored to be part of it.
On this side.
Yes.
How cute.
Remember with the sneak test, wait until my EA comes in. And you can post the paper.
Finally, we have one last special presentation from one of Sergeant Dews' mentors.
Hey guys, Elliot Pinero here, just in case you didn't recognize me with my retirement look. Thought you could get rid of me quickly, didn't you? Well, I'm like a bad penny. I always keep coming back. Oh, by the way, if there is a guy there with a scruffy beard, mountain man looking type of guy who calls himself Ray Valentine, I would call security. I don't recognize that guy, so I think you should get rid of him. Just let me know. Preston Dews. What can I say? Preston Dews interrupted my life in 2007 when I was at the Air Force Academy. I knew that the moment I saw this tall, skinny, lanky kid, he was going to be trouble. Sure enough, he sure was. And the trouble started at the Air Force Academy. Of course, I later found out that he's a stalker also, because when I left the academy and I went to Langley Air Force Base, he followed me there. And then when I couldn't get rid of him, I left Langley and went to Wilford Hall. But sure enough, just prior to me retiring and finishing my career, who shows up at Wilford Hall? Preston Dews. What I didn't expect from this skinny guy was what kind of an airman he was going to be. He turned out to be one of the most exceptional individuals I have ever met. For one thing, Preston is super, super smart, if you didn't know that. Two, he's an incredible MRI tech, one of the best I've ever met. That's why he's an instructor for the MRI course. Three, he's an incredible leader, and everything he puts his hands to succeeds. I don't think there's anything that Preston couldn't do. It was tough hard to find anything wrong with him. Actually, the only thing wrong I found with him is that he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. One thing that impressed me the most, and it's what I want to talk about, is Preston's nurturing nature and how much care he takes care of everyone around him. In 2015, my brother passed away suddenly when I was at Langley, just prior to PCSing. I was devastated and looking for people to help me get through the time. What a lot of people don't know is that several months prior to my brother passing, Preston's mom passed away suddenly as well. In my time of need, Preston sent a message to my wife to give to me that said, "Tell Dr. P not to worry. My mom will take care of his brother." That meant the world to me back then, and it's a classic example of what Preston Dews is like. Everyone wants him in his department. They always want to steal him because when he does something, he does it 120%. Preston, it has been indeed my pleasure and honor to have served in uniform alongside of you all of these years. You have been a friend, you have been a colleague, you have been a partner. And I cherish every moment we spent together, including playing on the same softball team. I thought you would be in the military for 50 years and probably be the running general the way you are. But I guess it's time to hang it up. And I know in my heart that you will be just as successful as you were in uniform. I wish I could be there to give you a big hug and congratulate you for a great career. Daisy, Nico, Zach, and myself send our love and our blessings to you. God bless you in whatever you do. And if you ever need a place to crash or you want to run away and you want to come to Vegas, we're here, my friend. Take care. We love you lots. And God bless. Peace out.
Thank you all for your presentations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Master Sergeant Preston Dews, United States.
Fine.
You can. Why didn't y'all put that message at the beginning? Because that would have made this a lot easier. So yes, I'm here. I'm ready to retire. Got a lot of thanks to give. If you notice, we didn't do a flag holding ceremony, and that was partly because it's Friday and we're running on time, and I got to get y'all out and just enjoy your weekend. And then two was I wanted to spend this time to thank everybody. So first and foremost, I would like to thank Colonel Rasmussen. Thanks for doing my presiding officer position. You meant the world to me when I met you, and you did a phenomenal job, knocked it out of the park. I'd like to thank Colonel Smith and Chief Ray for coming. Thanks for coming to my retirement ceremony. I know I'm just a little mess sergeant, but
Stop it.
But I'll try not to come over to y'all's offices and bother you too much. Colonel Sneed, thanks again. It's been a blessing working for you, and I'm really going to enjoy being one of your contractors because now I don't have to work overtime. I'll take care of your patients. I will take care of your patients. Chaplain, once again, that was a phenomenal military chaplain prayer. I appreciate it, and thanks for throwing some stuff in there to kind of lighten the mood, and that way it didn't get too stuffy in here. Chiefs, Chief MP, Chief Ray Jones. Where my other chiefs at? Chief Remiziati. Thanks again for coming. Thank you for supporting me. Again, this last year, that was a very tough position that I was in, and I really appreciate all of your mentorship. It really was one of those things, and of course, y'all have experienced it, and y'all gave me everything I really needed to know, and not fed me a lot of stuff that would just bog me down and get me in my way. So I really appreciate that. That's going to be something I'm going to miss. Flight chiefs. Let me go back to first sergeants. First sergeants, y'all are okay. Nah, I love my first sergeants. They kept it fun when we were at the kitchen table going over stuff that was going on in the group and the wing, what we need to get done. And we really appreciate it. I know y'all put in some long hours, and y'all get a little worn to the thin on some things, but you know, one of the things I always wanted to do was be a first sergeant, and so I always looked up to you guys because I thought that some of the experiences, and I'm looking at you two senior, some of the experiences that y'all have done is far no one understands, and no one will understand. And so your resilience is impressive, and one of the biggest things that I always try to keep my standard at when I was working is just as NCO or senior NCO. So I appreciate it. Flight chiefs, love you guys. I know that's the radiology flight chiefs. It was a little bit more laid back and a little bit easier, but the MDSP, you know, we rolled through it, and I really appreciate you guys accepting me into y'all's family. Because yeah, it was kind of hard coming into a position where I would be the same rank as a position that was lower. So I really appreciate y'all taking me in, kind of saying, hey, reset. And keeping me on path to make sure to understand what direction your NCOs and airmen were going. And so thank you again for that. Flight commanders, again, y'all were awesome. I appreciate it. Keep what I suggest is making sure you stay on top and grab a flight chief by the arm or by however you want to grab them. Do your training first. Do your training, but get your flight chiefs and really put your ear to the ground and find out what's really going on in your flights, because the only way we are going to be able to move forward as an Air Force is understanding that there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. There's also a lot of things going on personally with our veterans that are getting out. And for us to be able to keep our ears to the ground and understand what's happening with that really will minimize a lot of stuff later on down the road. Because we are a generation, my generation came in after 9/11, you know, and so all I've known is the war in the Middle East. So there's been a lot of ups and downs with that. We need to make sure we're taking care of each other. Family, Doug and Levette, I gotta point y'all out. Family, thank you for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I know some of the things, every time I came home, I was just Preston. Y'all didn't see any of this. And I think that was one of the things I always wanted to do, is make sure that except for my mom, she always put the bumper stickers on the car, Air Force. And so, but yes, I really appreciate y'all supporting me, getting me through this, getting me through some times that y'all don't even understand where I was at, and just listening to me. And thanks for pushing me forward, supporting me whenever I made a decision. Thank you for making me do my homework when I was gonna just put it off for my master's degree, which I haven't finished my master's. And so I really appreciate that. So that, I think, is a lot of my thanks. I want to try to get y'all out of here, but I do have some gifts to give some people. Okay, so the first gift I want to do is for Miss Nova. You don't have to. So I got you a flag flown over the U.S. Capitol.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you. I appreciate everything you did, supporting me, coming in from the Duramuses, helping me out, and being here. I know you drove 5.5 hours today just to be here, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Second, Ronnie Dale Pruitt. I need you up center. All right, so if you don't know, this is my cousin Ronnie. He has another twin brother that's 7 foot tall, and a sister, Leanne. They were not able to make it because they're watching my aunt's mother currently right now. But I did want to present something in front of everybody and kind of give you something. So I had a flag flown over AT&T Stadium. It's signed by Jerry Jones. So, but I wanted to present you something because I really appreciate it. So if you didn't know, he was in the Marines back in, when you go in 01 to 05, and he was in Fallujah when he deployed. So he went through the thick of it back in the very beginning. And you know, one of the biggest things was anytime I came home, we could always just flip it on, as you know, with veterans. You know, we could start talking, and you know, it's a totally different conversation, peripheral from everything that's going on usually around you. So I really want to say thank you. I'm glad you did finally go to the VA and get your percentage and get your disability. No denial. Don't deny what you did. Right?
Right.
Don't deny what you did, because if you just put it off, there's no point, you know. And then I'm paying taxes for this, so.
I want to add something though. I was Lance Corporal, maybe a corporal in the Marine Corps, and he came to me and said that he wanted to join the Marine Corps. And I said, Preston, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. Go to the Air Force. My knees, my back are already bad. And he listened, and I'm so proud.
Got some flowers. Got one for you. And I got one for you. So, oh, I'm sorry.
Aunt Carla.
Oh my God.
I need you to come up.
Oh my God.
No, no.
No.
So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. As you know, we've lost a lot of family members over the last 20 years, especially in the last 10. It's been the roughest. And you've done nothing but worked hard and made sure that you were the patriarch and all that. And you've supported me. You were there to have those conversations. We could go back and forth and have fun with it, and then we got to enjoy ourselves at the pool. So thank you again. I wanted to get you something that kind of symbolized what you meant to me, and I understand that you're very proud of being a Texan and everything else. So I got you it's what it is. It's a yellow rose of Texas. It's signed by the governor of Texas, and under the laws of the state of Texas, with all rights, privileges, and emoluments appertaining to said office and testimony whereof, I have signed my name and caused the seal of the state of Texas to be affixed at the city of Austin this day, 12th day of October 2022. Signed, Governor Greg Abbott. All right, now you come up. So, this is my Uncle Lance. So growing up, I was basically, I got away with anything. I was the only child. There was a team. We were a team of 4, so it was me, my uncle, my mother. I was really a team of 5. My grandfather and my grandmother. And so we're in this world now. We're the last 2 of the original 5. So, since I lost my father, you've been the father figure. One of the funniest stories that most people know, I'm gonna say. So, thank you. I sound like Air Force worker. But I really want to say thank you for everything you've done, for being there, support me. Thank you for being the father figure that I probably didn't have, and keeping me kind of straight. I appreciate that.
My fault started.
So I got something for you. And so I noticed in your office, there's a lot of stuff in there. You have your certificates and degree and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you were a police officer at one time, if I recall.
Yes.
I used to play with his police car lights when I was a kid. Remember, I stole like a bumper sticker, cut it up, because I wanted to cut the badge out and stick it on my, well, he was saving it for a friend, so my mom grounded me and took my Nintendo away for that. But I just wanted to make sure that we knew when you went into your office that we understood, your past history. And a lot of our family do a lot of uniform services. Sometimes it's not just with the military. So I wanted to present you, I kind of stole it from Aunt Carla, but I got you a shadow box with all of your police departments to put in your office.
Cool.
Badge. And if you look at the quote, you need your glasses.
Oh.
You made a comment to me fairly recent that you were disappointed you didn't make Eagle Scout. We get a little further in life, we was wondering if he was gonna get out of high school. And then you told us you're gonna join the Air Force. Hey, wash out. This coin's got an eagle on it, kinda brings the point to my story. We watched you grow over the last 20 years into quite a man that your mother would be very proud of. All of us are very proud. You are an eagle on top of me.
Okay, we gotta get y'all out of here. I'm paying attention to the clock, I promise. I got two more gifts. Two more gifts. So the first one, sir, I didn't want you to leave without presenting you something. This is my retirement ceremony, and I'm probably breaking a lot of protocol. But for all the airmen in the, or even if you're just testing for rank, you know, what is one of the highest honors that enlisted president can give to an officer?
Ooh, I can't say it.
Right. Order the sword, right? So there's a whole protocol. The chiefs all have to do it and everything. But I don't really care. I'm going to do a sword presentation. This is an Army NCO sword. It has my name and my dates that I served. And sir, I'd like to have you come up and present this to you.
Aww.
And I got one more sword because I forgot to say something, and I didn't really forget. I was just playing it off. There's someone here in this room that was there for me many a times, and has still been there for me. Master Sergeant Brooks. Can you come up, please? Retired Master Sergeant, sorry. Say it. Preston. Preston.
Just say it one time.
You gotta hear it though. Okay, we gotta hold on. Y'all have a slideshow or? So, Africa Brooks, we met together. Well, actually, I called her when I was at Air Force Academy because the curriculum manager had just started the positions over at Langley Air Force Base, and me and her were going to be the first one I texted about it. So I called her. I said, "Hey, how do you, let's get this going." And we got conversed, and she said she was like right off the bat was like, "We're gonna make it." Fast forward, we ran it at Langley. We developed a team, and a lot of you are in here from Langley. The one thing about the Air Force, and I will tell you because this is the final bit, for every one of you that you're going to experience while you're in service, you're going to have your bad days. That is what it is. There is a fraternal order within this uniform. Okay? You may not ever have to experience it. You may have to be that person for someone else. Or you may experience it. And I want to say, Africa was probably one of my mother figures, sister figures. She kept me in line, she kept me there, and then when something serious happened, she was there. Okay? And she had the team set up to respond. One went ahead and said, "I got the plane tickets, don't worry about it." The other one from ultrasound said, "I'm coming with you." She said, "Keep me in line, let me know what you need." She kept the first sergeant on tap, and then was there at my mother's funeral to support her. You don't see that. And even my uncle mentioned that. He's like, I don't think I have a friend in this world that would do that. So, trust me when I say This uniform means a lot more than just your 9-to-5 shift work. Anything you do, the award you win, anything you do in your life while you're in uniform, it's all about the fraternal order. It's about us taking care of each other. It's something you'll never see. Ma'am, I'd like to present you an NCO sword. It's not sharp, and you can use it on me. You can hit me with it later if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your butt. And I can.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'll get more percentage on my disability.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna kick his butt for real.
All right, where we at? We're at around 4. So everybody is. What time is it?
You're doing amazing, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I just want I want everybody to know I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your weekend. Have a kick-ass weekend. Love you guys. I'm out.
From all of the men and women of the United States Air Force, we thank you, Sergeant Dews, for your contributions to the Air Force and its mission. We are proud to have served with you and assure you will always be a valuable member to the Air Force. We wish you success in every future endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Air Force song and then remain standing for the departure of the official party. This concludes today's ceremony. We invite everyone to join us in congratulating the Sergeant Dews and his family at the reception immediately following the ceremony. There is a Wilford Hall brick in the back if anybody would like to sign for Sergeant Dews. Thank you for attending, and we wish you a great Air Force Day.